Hey, we're in the Tesla Model X and we're going to check out the software 9.0 software upgrade. So straight away on the big touchscreen in the center, you're going to notice the base is maps, and what they've done is they've simplified the controls. So pretty much put the controls most used right next to the driver, which is very smart. So things like demister and heated seating and things like that are a little further away. You might notice volume is over on the left. That's because obviously on the driver's steering wheel you've got the volume easy control there. So let's talk through what's changed. Basically, what used to be at the top of the screen is now pretty much available from the bottom. So you start with the base and maps, and instead of doing the 50-50 split between two different apps running at the same time, what you're going to do is you're going to tap something like music. It's going to pop over the top of maps, and this is now adjustable. So depending on how much you want to see of music, it does obviously then adjust the map area. But you can have some nice variants of that. So it doesn't have to be 50-50 anymore, which is great. If you want to shift into some other things like the reversing camera, we can fire those apps from within here. We can pull up a calendar if you've got your phone connected, energy, call stuff, or charging information. So that's all available from this up arrow, imagining that you're occasionally going to need that. Now at any stage you can always adjust this, close that out if you want. If you really don't need to see music much anymore, focus on the nav, or actually you can close out of music altogether, just tap back on music. All of your car controls now are just available from the car menu, and then you're going to pick off through the menus. And these are a lot cleaner, the icon design and everything. It's a lot slicker, very polished and consistent, which is great. Really nice sort of finish on these now. There's nothing too crazy or new in here, but it's basically just refined from what we've seen before. And of course your manual's down the bottom there. Up the top, if we hit on the Tesla logo, we'll also see the standard car interface, but you'll notice the new Atari games. So this is one thing that that people around in the 80s were pretty hot on at the time, and to see it inside a car now is pretty sweet. So if we've got something like Missile Command, you can select the other options of the other games. So there's Asteroids, Lunar Lander, Missile Command, and the fourth one's Centipede. So basically it's just as if it was back in the day. Actually, the cool thing is that the sound inside the car is pretty amazing for these games. So if we hit push to eject, we get a ding, or we can start again. So we can go full screen, and it actually takes over the entire screen as well. So so a bit of fun there. All right, so we'll just exit out of that. Some other things, obviously we've got the Christmas mode. We'll take a look at that. that's what Tesla's about, a little bit of fun in their vehicles, so it's cool. Obviously, having the SIM card built in, you get Spotify built into the vehicle. You can do your own library stuff if you sign in, or you could just go through and pick off playlists or whatever you want. So being Christmas, you'll see I've got a couple of Christmas favorite playlists there. Of course the car's got radio, but generally I think most people are using Spotify or something similar. So that's really it. Let's just do supercharger and get rid of music. So one thing that happened to me overnight, it was 10 o'clock last night, Saturday night, went to recharge the car. We've got just under 100 Ks of range left, and in Richmond's the big supercharger that they've got out the front of their store, they were all full, and I didn't get any information about that before I took the journey from the hotel to the supercharger, so that's one sort of maybe area they can improve. I have heard that's available in the States, so it'll tell you if all the superchargers are currently in use, but I'm not seeing that option in Australia. Other than that, software 9.0, that's pretty much the rundown. It's a pretty cool addition, a nice refinement on the OS, and you see the maps look nice and clean and crisp. So I'm pretty happy with what they've done here. Probably the only other final thing to mention is you'll see the new icon at the top here. And so what that is the dash cam recording. So the cameras in the car are recording, and you can tap on that icon like I just did, and it will download to the SD card, or the USB drive that you plug into the USB ports there. So once it's downloaded, you just pull that out, plug it into your computer, and they show up as MP4 files, so you can play it back and watch what the cameras of the car have recorded. It's not the best video quality, certainly. You'll get much better out of dedicated dash cams, but you know, for turning on a new feature that is built in a car that you already own, if you're an existing owner, that's certainly a pretty cool win. And that's pretty much what Tesla is about with their software upgrades, is taking the car that you bought and making it better the day after you bought it, rather than what happens to most vehicles, which is pretty much you put Ks on them and depreciate the value over time. So having a vehicle be largely a big computer on wheels and being software updatable, and a huge part of that component is being able to deliver those components, those upgrades, over the cell connection built right into your car. So having that SIM card was very, very smart. Not only can you do smart things like summon. When I parked the car last night, this was dry, and now I want to get in the car. Got a bit of a problem, but thanks to summon, I'm going to drive the car out of that puddle, get in dry. So to do that, we're going to launch the Tesla app on the phone. The car's going to turn on, and we're going to go to summon, connects to the car over that SIM card built into the vehicle, and then we're just going to press and hold on reverse, back it up, and then I can get in without getting my feet wet. But the software upgrades and making it better over time is a huge improvement. The final thing that I'll mention is just on your screen for the driver. We can't see it now because I'm not driving, but I'll show you some video where basically the vehicles around you are now detected more like the actual vehicles that they are. So if it's a truck or if it's a bike or whatever, you're going to see those indicated by the icons around you, rather than it simply be just a car representing those other vehicles. I have seen sometimes it gets that wrong. Obviously it's doing some approximation from the sensors around the car and the cameras and doing its best job. But it is nice to know if a big semi is coming up behind you in your blind spot before you indicate. But that's pretty much it. That's the rundown of software 9.0 in the Tesla Model X.